got to stand up strong. Think the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. How are you? Thank you so much for being with me. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. JESSE. I hope you had a good weekend. I did. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. In that, I did a little resting. I did not work out at the gym. I didn't go hiking. Even though they wanted me to, I didn't do it. My body was sore from head to toe, and I'm like, that's it for this weekend. So I didn't go this weekend. I did a few things at home, rested, and that kind of stuff. Sunday was amazing church. And if you missed it, you can podcast by going to rebuildingtheman.com/church, rebuildingtheman.com/church. And you can podcast the show, all right? I was thinking of something. And by the way, you can listen to the JesseLeePeterson.com and the HateReport.com by going on your phone or anywhere, right? By going to the listen line on TalkStream Live. TalkStream Live. 717-567-4971. 717-567-4971. You can also follow both shows on Gab, Rumble, and Trovo. And we are on Odyssey. You ought to see it. Odyssey. James, did you give Nick the new biblical question? I don't see it here. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, I gave it to him. But I don't know if it's in the...
It's not in the packet. Nick said he did not get it. I have a brand new biblical question, and I gave it to Hate to give it to Nick. Now both are...
It's 2 texts above what he just texted to us.
What?
It's in the mass text.
So
I sent it to him.
It's not in my package.
Right.
Anyway, Hank is here from the HateReport.com, and one of my experts. I have a contradiction.
All right.
And do you know what contradiction means? For those who don't know.
Yes.
What does it mean?
I don't know how to say it without saying the root word. That means you're contradicting yourself, or somebody's contradicting himself.
Oh, okay. I have one.
Okay.
And I need your help.
All right.
So I realized over the weekend, all my life, from the day that I was born until this day, I have not been responsible for anything that I've done, either so-called good or bad.
Okay. Nice.
And yet we tell people to take responsibility for their lives.
Right.
Is that a contradiction?
No, I don't think so. Not necessarily.
Why not?
It sounds like one, but Jesus ran into this stuff too. Silence your phone.
I know. I didn't know it was not silent.
It's kind of like there's no free will, but there's also we're also responsible. We're also going to get punished for what we do or suffer for what we do.
But why do we have to get punished or suffer if what we did wasn't our fault?
So that we learn.
What?
So that we learn.
Oh.
That's how you, it's kind of like you whip a horse to make them go.
And prevent the blacks from crossing the border.
Right.
So you see my contradiction?
Yeah.
But I realize that there is no free will, and I realize clearly, like never before in my whole life, that I am not responsible for anything I've done. And yet I made myself feel guilty for the so-called bad things.
Right.
I judged myself. And I don't even think I judged myself. I think the deceiver judged me, and I believed it.
Right.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
What do we do with that?
I don't know. That's kind of cool.
We have been free all along and didn't know it.
What a mess.
What a mess. And people, and all of us, because of living in our heads, believing a lie, and then been taught on the outside that we're all guilty, we've just been believing it and suffering unnecessarily. What a waste.
Yeah.
What a waste.
So you realized that over the weekend?
Yeah.
Had you realized it before and then you forgot and then you just remembered?
Yeah, I realized it was like trying to come through me, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it all the way. Until this weekend, it was totally clear.
Yeah.
That all my life, of all the things I ever done, I was never responsible.
But you're not going to stop telling people to take responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
And so take responsibility have to mean you got to go, return to the Father. It's up to you to admit you're wrong, stop playing God, and return to the Father.
No blame, no excuses.
Right. No blame, no excuses.
Yeah.
Zero blame. And yet we need the law of the land to punish those who break the law.
Right.
Otherwise, they would go out of control like the blacks.
Yep. Duh.
What a mess.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's so freeing up to know that.
Yeah, I would think so.
Do you believe that? Do you see that?
I don't. It makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
It's amazing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But had it not been shown to me clearly, I would not have been able to believe it on my own. You know what I mean? Because the ego want to think that it's in charge of things.
Right.
And it wants you to think that you have a free will.
Yeah. Huh.
All my life, I've been influenced from within in my head by evil or in my heart by good, right?
Yeah.
But mostly by evil until I return to the Father.
Yeah. Interesting.
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
When you really see, you're going to see you're not in control of anything. Nobody's in control of anything.
Yeah.
It's all a game. A pretense. Like people pretend Bruce Jenner is a lady in a dress.
Right.
But it's really a man. And so the ego makes you think you're really in charge. You have a free will and you can do it and all that kind of mess. What the?
Yeah.
Amazing. What are you? Oh, that guy died.
Colin Powell.
Yeah. Do you care? You did.
I mean, I don't know. I'd forgotten all about him.
Me too. I thought he was already dead.
I didn't think he was already dead. That is a touch young, dying at 84.
That's a long life.
It is. It's all right.
What else do we need him for? I see Colin Powell as a traitor to the Republican Party.
Yeah, so do I.
Some of you might not know, but Colin Powell is a black guy, or was a black guy. He did. According to the news, he died. Fox News, he died, 84 years old. But Colin Powell pretended to be a Republican until he got what he wanted. And then when the fallen Messiah ran for president, he jumped ship.
Yep.
And went over to the Democratic Party side and voted for Colin Powell voted for the fallen Messiah, Obama, and he just became a traitor.
Yeah.
He became a traitor to the Republican Party.
Yeah.
He was awful.
If I remember right, did he try to smear Trump too?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure, but knowing him, I wouldn't be surprised.
I know. Right. He definitely betrayed America by supporting Obama. That was ridiculous.
He sold the country down the drain.
And yet, kind of predictable. Just, oh gosh, roll your eyes.
Yeah.
Because you could sense that whole Bush administration, they were rhinos.
Yeah.
Bush himself betrayed America by not supporting Trump, I think.
Watch how the phony media and others are going to be praising him like he was wonderful.
Oh, yeah, true.
I'll be surprised if they even bring up how he became a traitor to the Republican Party after using them for personal gain. And how by voting for Obama, he tried to bring America down.
Yep.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Huh.
He did. Anyway, what are you talking about on the hate report today?
Well, it's a surprise what I'm talking about.
To you and the Lord.
I almost slipped and said, I don't know. But I'm pumped, excited to share the music that I have prepped.
Oh, that stuff you play in the beginning of your show?
If you want to call it music, yeah.
It's funny when I hear you read in the comments about your music.
Yeah.
Amazing. So the hate report, what time?
9 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles.
Amazing. One other thing about that guy that did.
Colin Powell.
He was also a rhino anyway.
Yeah.
He was a rhino.
People don't like him because he pushed the Iraq War and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. The hate report at
9 a.m. to 11.
To 11.
Pacific.
HateReport.com.
Thank you, Jesse.
Check him out, folks. I want to go to Jerry, a first-time caller out of Fresno, California. Jeremy, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh, thank you very much. I don't want to tell you that I really like the show, and the Savage moments are hilarious.
They are. They're amazing. Check out the Savage moments, folks. They are amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you're funnier than Richard Pryor.
I'm sorry?
But I just want to I said, you're funnier than Richard Pryor. I mean,
thank you.
But the question is,
Is it, hold on 1 minute, Jerry. Don't hang up. Hold on.
Yeah.
Is his phone clear or is it kind of muffled like? It's a little muffled, huh? Jerry, your phone is a little muffled, so you're not coming across clear.
I'm talking more into it now. How's that?
Okay, that's better. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to, Jesus revealed himself as the I am to me. And all I do is see that Jesus went around claiming to be God himself, the second in the Godhead. And do you believe that? I was told that you didn't believe that. I'm not sure.
Where did he claim to be God?
Well, they asked him, he said, the good rabbi, he says, why do you call me good? Only God is good. He went around asking, who do you think I am? Who do you think I am? And it was always, as a matter of fact, do you know why they killed Jesus? That last miracle, raising Lazarus from the dead?
I want to know, where did he say or claim that he was God?
It's all through the Bible.
Where?
He said, I am the I am.
But where did he claim he was God?
and he's the begotten, right? He's not born.
And where does he claim he was God, though?
I mean, there's so many. Saying straight up, "I am God."
Did he claim he was God, or did the people
Yes.
claim that he was God?
No, have you studied the Bible real quick?
Right, but there's
Very much,
nowhere
right?
in the Bible that he said that he was God.
Well, he didn't say it straight up because he was
And so
trying
why
to
are the
deceive.
people saying it then if he didn't say it? If he were God,
Well,
he wouldn't have had
he
any
said
problem saying that.
He said it.
Oh, okay. And you
Many
believe
times.
that he was God?
He claims to be God.
Do you believe that
Because
he was
he-
God?
Yes,
Oh,
because
okay.
the only way we could be atoned if he was God. If he wasn't God, he couldn't have paid for our sins. It wouldn't be.
So God
he wouldn't
sent
be-
God.
He didn't.
So God sent God to atone for our sins, or did God
Yeah,
send
well-
His Son?
No, in the beginning he was God, like John said in the book of John.
Oh, okay.
In the beginning he was God.
Well, Jerry,
So-
I understand that you believe that, and if you want to hold on to that, you believe it and see how far that gets you in life.
Yeah, without the revelation of Jesus Christ as being the I am, then he couldn't help. Only God could help.
Right? Are you
so-
a Christian?
Yes.
You are a Christian, and do you still sin?
Yeah. Well, we're wretched sinners in the mother's womb. The Bible says.
So, do you still sin?
I'm a creature of sin.
So, do you still sin?
Everybody does.
Do you still sin?
Yes.
Speak up into your phone, Jerry.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Okay, you still sin.
We're born into sin. We were all.
And
without
then,
the
and so
atonement of-
you were born into sin,
Mm.
but you're not born of the Father.
Yes.
You are born of the Father?
Well, the Bible. Now, you believe that that God inspired
You were
the Word
born
God?
of the Father, Jerry?
Yes.
And so how
And the Son,
are you able
and
to
the Holy
sin?
Spirit.
Are you still of the devil and of the Father?
No,
Well, how are you able to sin if you're of the Father?
because he says in the mother's womb, we're wretched sinners. In
But
the
how are
mother's
you
womb.
able to sin if you're of the Father? If you've been born
Well,
of the Father and you're not of the devil anymore,
if-
how are you able to sin?
Okay, if I do sin, Jesus' atonement, which the only way it could be atoned is if he was God.
Oh,
See what I'm
okay.
trying to say? Let's think about a financial situation. Okay, if I'm going to pay for somebody's sins, I have to be God.
All right.
Okay, otherwise we're going to come up short.
Right. How old are you, Jerry?
I'm 58,
58?
and I've been through hell, and Jesus brought me out of it, and He revealed clearly in so many places.
Right on. Well, I wish
And the
you
reason
well
you-
with that, Jerry. I really do, man. Hold on to that if you want to, and believe that you could be a son of God and still sin. And I wish you well with it, man.
Well, let me ask you:
I appreciate
do you
you.
sin?
I appreciate
Do you-
you liking the show.
Do you sin?
No,
Do you sin?
no, it's impossible to sin if you're of the Father.
Yeah. If you have one thought of a woman or any negative thought, that's a sin.
Really?
Yes. He combs through our mind
Right.
and our being, and we're creatures of sin. We were born.
All right.
Adam.
Well,
Adam.
I wish you well with that, Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody just
Okay.
texted me. They want you to read. Let me see what they want you to read. Hold
I don't
on
have a
here.
Bible, man.
Well, you don't have to read it now. I don't have time for you to read it now.
Okay.
Well,
Well, let me ask
they
you a
want
question.
you to read. They want you to read Corinthians
Well,
15,
you can pick
24 to 28.
Okay.
And then I want you to read 1 John chapter 3, where it says that if you say you've been born again of God and you sin, you're a liar and the truth ain't in you. For this reason Christ came that you might not sin, and because sin is of the devil.
Well, what is sin? It's coming up short, right?
Short of what?
It's missing the mark.
Coming up
What it
short of
means.
what?
Of the expectations of God.
What?
We always will. It's called missing the mark. Like when you shoot an arrow,
Right.
you miss the mark.
Who told you that?
That's sin. That's the Bible. The Bible clearly says that sin is missing the mark. He describes it as an arrow missing its mark.
So how can you be
That's
born
sin.
of God and you still missing the mark?
Because I could tell you no, I don't sin at all because God atones my sins. So in Christ,
so
I'm
you
perfect.
say you don't sin or you do sin?
Well, in Christ I don't.
In Christ you don't?
No.
But who do
Because
you sin in?
Well, in myself.
Who name do you sin in?
If someone claims they never sin, they're lying.
Jerry, who name do you sin in?
My own.
So you sin in the name of Jerry?
Well, actually, I want to take this back. I don't sin.
Oh, Lord, you taking it back. What the?
You know why? You know why?
Why?
Christ covered. The Christ has atoned for every sin I've ever will do.
Right on. Jerry,
Okay.
thank you, man. I got to run. I appreciate it. You hold on to that if you want, all right?
Okay.
And I appreciate you liking the show, too.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
If you were to tell Muhammad and went up to him and said, "You're Allah," he would have killed you.
Who is Muhammad?
Yeah.
The Allah guy?
Yeah, I'm saying that no spiritual leader ever came to be God. None.
Muhammad, the Islam fake prophet. Jerry, I got to run, but your phone messed up anyway. I can't understand you. Darren is out of Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Darren.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
All is well, sir. How you?
Man, I am fantastic, man. It's always a pleasure to be on the phone with the great
Amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you that you were so right about the thoughts, man, of how they are lies and how they try to trick you. Because I found myself having these weird thoughts that kept coming to my head. I was basically out with my girlfriend at the market, and I was trying to get rid of these bad habits recently of looking at other women, and it's just so hard because it seems like everybody and their mama got on tights these days.
Yeah, bunch of sluts out there.
I be trying to resist so bad, and it's like my mind be telling me, like, you want some of that. I seen one with some that looked like they would draw.
Yeah, the women pretend that they don't want to be noticed, and when men stop noticing them, they dress like sluts. They go out naked so you can notice. It's because they don't know what they want in life. Men have to guide them. Women don't know what they want.
And I just noticed that about all my teachers. It seemed like they had some kind of joy out of showing us the crack of their breast.
Yeah, it's a mess. But what you do is just relax and know that your thoughts are not your own. All thoughts are all lies all the time. And are you doing the silent prayer?
Not every night.
What's up?
I try to whenever I can. It's just sometimes because I work at 3 in the morning.
Oh, I see. You work from 3 until what?
11.
From 3 in the morning to 11 a.m.?
Yeah.
And so so you're up from 3 to 11 a.m. And so what time you go to bed to sleep before you go to work?
I try to go to bed at least by 3 or 4.
And so do you do the silent prayer before you go to bed?
No. There's no excuse. I should try.
What? Because you're not in control of anything, and you can't make yourself those thoughts stop because it's a spirit. They're spirits, right? And only God can do that, but you must return to the Father and be still and allow him to take over so he can fight your battle for you. So I highly recommend you do this silent prayer there.
Yeah, okay. I promise you, Jesse, I'm going to keep it up.
All right, let me know how it goes, buddy. I got to do this. Thank you, Darren. I totally appreciate it. So the brand new biblical question, have you ever done anything in your life, right or wrong, and it was your fault? Have you ever done anything in your life, right or wrong, and it was your fault? That's the new biblical question. And the old biblical question was, let's see here. Do most black people love God and their neighbors as themselves? Do most black people love God and their neighbors as themselves? This is from last week. And the answer is no, they don't. And I wanted to bring that up because I want black people to know all around the world that you're not getting anywhere in life. You might be able to intimidate white people, take their stuff, tear down statues, tear down the flags, blame others for your inabilities, and they turn it over to you, but you're still going to have nothing because it doesn't profit a man anything to gain the world and lose his soul. And it's clear to me and everybody that's walking this earth that most, not all, but most black people do not have love. And I want to encourage the blacks to pull away from the crowd. Know thyself. Know thyself. Get to know yourself, and you shall return to the Father. And he will cause you to be of love. His love will work through you. Otherwise, your generation, their generation, the next generation, just going to get worse. And somebody should love the blacks enough to let them know that, to tell them the truth. And not all, but most are out of control, right? And they have no shame anymore. They no shame in killing one another and blaming the whites. No shame in electing some of the worst so-called leaders on this side of heaven, and robbing and stealing and killing, and they just have no love anymore. No love, nothing to contain them. And now that they removed the law of the land by falsely accusing the cops, because of the lack of love in the blacks, they're just gotten worse. And if this doesn't change, it's going to get worse. You have to change the hearts and minds of the people, or you need tough law of the land. You need the law to be tough. And the traitors of good, the enemies of God, are removing the law police from the land. And that's not good. May God have mercy on this country and anywhere if this continues to happen. I'll take a break. When I come back, and I'm just telling the blacks, that's the only solution to your issue. It has nothing to do with slavery, has nothing to do with racism and all that crap you've been told. Pull away and you'll see. It's time for you to be free. I'll be back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's going to have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Amazing. Amazing. Welcome back. Super Chats and D-Live.
Super Chat.
Super Chats.
All righty. Here we go with the Super Chats from church. Let's check it out. Evgeny Crosby says, Bill Clinton is in the hospital with Hillary's hot sauce watching church with Jesse Lee Peterson.
Amazing.
Incredible stuff.
That's right.
Steve Strock with a very generous donation.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Says, the conversation with the MGTOW guy on Friday was amazing. Highly recommend you watch it if you haven't.
I hope that, and thank you, I hope that that conversation with the MGTOW guys helped at least one, because you can't, men are supposed to be tough in tough times. And women need men to be strong because they need men to help them come out of the darkness that they live in their imagination and emotions and stuff like that. And just because your wife or some woman ripped you off is no reason to give up on life. And I'm not telling you to get married. You don't have to get married if you don't want a family. But you need to be strong so that you can bring the women out of the hell that they're in, and then they will stop trying to rip men off and take their children and destroy men and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's just going to get worse because the light of the world comes through the men. The men are the light of the world and the salt of the earth. So I hope it helps somebody. Thank you.
Lonnie Bear says, thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
OD Red Skull says, almost forgot to pay my tithes.
Amazing.
But he remembered. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your support.
Born Mature 1 with a apparent JLP quote here, I guess, says, Satan battles us through the mind, and you have to learn to recognize the Father's voice. The real battle is in the mind, and most people have yet to recognize the lies and have yet to doubt all thoughts.
Yep. The real war, there's a real war happening within and in between the light and the darkness. Your thoughts, the darkness, and the light that's in the heart, which is the soul of the belly. The war is going on in there. And there's a war going on the outside, as I said, in other people. And so if you can relax and know that you can't do anything about it from within, the Father will fight your battle for you, and He will fight it without as well. He will show you what to do dealing with the outside, and you will be able to overcome it. But you got to see the war within, and you'll understand that it's not physical at all. There's nothing physical about it except it's working through a physical body. So get to know yourself, be still, and know the Father. Okay.
Stephen J. Davis asks, why do people worship and pray to Jesus instead of the Father?
Because they've been trained to do that from day one by the Bible thumpers. They've been trained.
Brian N. asked, should I forgive my stepfather who turned me against my mother and father, or is it enough to just forgive my mom and dad?
You should forgive anyone that you resent, but start with the parents first, and then forgiveness will automatically be given to others. But you got to overcome the trauma of being born through your mother. So start with that first.
Jamie Winnie says, love you and the crew. God bless y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thanks. Ruben H. Hernandez IV says, I may not know my flowers, but I know all thoughts are lies all the time about anything.
Yep. All thoughts are all lies all the time about everything. It's amazing.
Angelito Diaz says, the famous I Have a Dream speech was written by Stanley Levison, who was a money launderer for the Soviet Union. And they say, read Jeremiah 23, 25 through 32 for info, and says, let's go, Brandon.
So I'm not aware of that, but thank you.
Roberto Rodriguez says, amazing.
Oh, amazing.
Madi Ubaldo says, good morning, Jesse and crew. I hope you guys had a blessed weekend. Thank you for your fellowship, and keep up the good work. Love you guys. Much love.
Same back at you. Thank you.
Joshua Boykin, no message.
Oh, amazing.
A. Owens says, keep it up, Jesse and crew.
All right.
Will do.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Ninja from UA says, level of honesty here is amazing.
Amazing.
No doubt.
Thank you.
Coldburger Art says, amazing church. Donka.
It was amazing church yesterday. The fellowship was through the roof. I totally appreciate that.
John Cano with a very generous donation.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for that. Says, like time, evil never stops, and when you allow thoughts to take you out of the present, Satan enters and tries to bring you down. Stay blessed.
Yep. Bad at you.
J-Rock, no message.
Thank you, J-Rock.
Thanks. David Golden says, women hate strong men too. That's why they try to destroy even kings.
Yep.
Very nice. Evgeny Crosby with a diamond on D-Live says, Church of Jesse Lee Peterson is amazing.
Amazing. It was amazing fellowship. Thank you.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer with a diamond on D-Live says, D-Live the best chat this side of the firmament.
Amazing. Thank you.
Star with like a cheerleader emoji. Thank you.
Thanks, Star.
Ryan 8U, no message.
Thank Ryan 8U.
Guttural Twang says, sand up.
Stand up.
Right on. Piotr Robel, might not be pronouncing that correctly, but I did my best with kind of a smiley face type emoji. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's see. Fatherhood for Truth 2.0 with a very generous donation.
Thank you, Fatherhood for Truth.
Says, thanks for pointing me back in the right direction.
Right on.
Scuba Steve says, thanks for church, Jesse. Man, stop laying around. That's beta.
Get up. Man, a man ain't got no business sitting around. What the?
So true.
Yeah.
Zen, let's see here. Yeah, Zen with no message. Thanks.
Thank you, Zen.
I believe this is pronounced Skylar. Skylar Oliver with a very generous donation.
Right on. Thank you.
Says, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. I guess that's Matthew 5:16. This is what Jesse means when he says, be a living example.
Amazing.
Joel never did that.
Joel never did that.
What's up, Mike? With a diamond on D-Live says, Mason Church.
Thank you. Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Catherine Payne, no message.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thanks. All my bone days.
All my life.
On Streamlabs says, Bond Church today was Mamma Mia, Hola, Si, Senor, Galoshes, Hold Your Wallet, Slap Your Mama, amazing.
Gushes.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Lin Yan Chin on Trovo says, glad that, I'm not sure James covered the name, is still there following Christ through his good hair. I get it. May she give rise to many white baby engineers.
Amazing.
I think I understand who the name was.
Amazing.
Hake censored it. Lin Yan Chin with another one. Jesse, not contradiction, but paradox, which, and he gives a definition, it looks like, to paradox, a seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition that when investigated or explained may prove to be well-founded or true. And then he goes on to say, no free will, but character as defined by the only choice we have, follow the will of God or follow the will of Satan.
Who said that?
Lin Yan Chin on Trovo.
I like the word. That's another good word for that.
Paradox.
Yeah, paradox. Yeah. Nice.
Good definition. Thank you. From Streamlabs, and these are from this morning. Church ones were finished. Thanks to the
thank you all.
Church donations.
Very much church donation. Amazing. Thank you.
Bibi42 on Streamlabs asks, very important question, and where is Muhammad now? I rest my case.
I rest my case. Amazing.
He follows up with another one saying, I vividly remember being 4 years old and the preacher saying Jesus was both God and the Son of God. It made no sense to me then or now, 30 years later.
Yeah.
It does make sense that Jesus is the Son of God. His journey reflects that, and I'm no Bible thumper.
Right on. It's nice to see it for yourself. Once you see it for yourself, it's yours.
Yen Chen Lin with a diamond on D-Live, arch nemesis of Lin Yan Chin, I suppose, says, my wife let me buy a new handbag this weekend. Congratulations.
Yeah. What?
Lin Yan Chin on Trovo says, those who believe Jesus was God do not understand the difference between was and is. You ask them where they are now, and they tell you where they have been, as insecurity has them lost in spiraling imagination. Satan has them, and they failed grade school English.
Amazing.
And let me double check here. I think that may be, yes, indeed. That's all for now. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. So listen up, ladies. Disappointing news. Very disappointing news. This Thursday night is supposed to be the women's forum, but we cannot do it. I announced it on Sunday, yesterday, that we were doing it. I have a special message for the ladies. But yesterday evening, I was reminded that I'll be out of town this Thursday night. I got to go down to Florida, Orlando, Florida, and I will be speaking at the 21 Summit in Orlando, Florida this Saturday. I will be back for church, though, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, but no ladies forum this Thursday night. No form. So, ladies, let other ladies know, those out of town and wherever, that we're not having a meeting because I will not be here. And this trip been planned for a while now. I did it last year as well. And for more information about the 21 Summit Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com. Atlanta, Florida. What did I say, Georgia? Oh, Orlando, Florida. The 21 Summit in Orlando, Florida. You can go to rebuildingtheman.com/event. Rebuildingtheman.com/event. All right? So no meeting this Thursday night, ladies. And we are all disappointed, really. But if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, we'll do it next month. I want to go to Adam out of Waco, Texas. Adam, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, Adam. How are you?
I've been better.
What's wrong?
I want to, you talked about this contradiction about...
It's a paradox.
Paradox, contradiction.
Yeah.
you know, it's like, and I've always struggled with that. You know, it's like I don't do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I always do what I don't want to do.
Absolutely.
The more effort I put in to stop doing something I don't like, it's just the harder it gets.
Yeah.
But also on the flip side, with the silent prayer, I went and I forgave my parents about 3 months ago. Started doing the silent prayer every morning, every night. All right? But then about a couple weeks ago, it just started getting harder. I started getting physical pain. It just, and then it's just like I could not sit still anymore.
How do you
And
get
it's like,
physical pain from just sitting down, close your eyes, and relaxing?
How
does that cause physical pain?
I would start getting migraines.
Are you trying to make yourself be aware of the thoughts or something?
No, I'm just trying to just let it go. Like, my whole thing is just like, let it go, let it go. God's got this. He has this. You know?
Well, but you shouldn't be straining at all, Adam. You should just sit down, relax, and let go from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. Just let go and be aware of those thoughts as though you're sitting back. When you're watching a TV show, do you get migraines from watching a TV show?
Yeah, I don't even watch TV anymore. Like, I just have like no attention span for anything.
So if you have a physical problem, you need to see the doctor, right? But if it's just the thoughts, if it's just the thoughts, you need to relax. So let me ask again: do you get migraine from watching a TV show?
Yeah, I've actually had to come off a disability off of work because of these migraines.
Oh, well, I don't know what to tell you about that, but as far as just observing the thoughts, you just relax and observe them, but don't try to control them. Don't try to suppress. Don't try to pick out the good ones and let the bad ones go. Just be aware, and the light of God will do the rest. But if you have migraines, headache, you may need to see a doctor.
Yeah, and when I was doing it, like, it was just like, it was beautiful. I experienced that perfect peace.
Yeah.
But since that, it's like, it's been robbed from me. Like, it's gone. Like,
it's not gone. It's not gone. You just believe in the lies of the thought that it's gone. Once you're born of the Father, you cannot be unborn. But you just believe in the thoughts and not realize that they are not your own, and that every thought is a lie about everything all the time.
Yeah.
But you can't be unborn once you're born of the Father.
Yeah, you know, I kind of feel like I'm spiraling right now, you know, because I really love just sitting with my father, and it's like I can't sit, and I'm losing peace. I'm like, I don't really know.
Well, I recommend if you have a physical problem, medical problem, you see a doctor. But if it's just spiritual, you relax. And maybe you need to stop. Maybe you need to go away from the prayer. Stop doing it if you're straining and then bringing on issues for you. Because it's all
like the more
spiritual.
Effort I'm trying to put into it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to put effort into it at all. You're supposed to let go of effort. Because there's nothing you can do. Of ourselves, we can do nothing. And of ourselves, we know nothing.
Yeah, I believe that.
And so you're not supposed to be putting effort in it. One of the issues in life for most people, they've been putting effort into life, and things are getting worse for them instead of getting better.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I actually got a counseling session with you tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking forward to that, and we'll go a little deeper. I appreciate what you do, and thank you very much.
Thanks for your call, buddy.
All right, bye.
Bye. George is out of New York. George, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey, George, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good,
actually.
man.
Yeah. I just wanted to call up just to kind of tell you that I really love your show.
Thank you.
And it's helped me not take things so seriously, like so intensely, like I used to.
Yeah.
I'm still like a beta, you know. Yeah. But
How do you feel about being a beta?
Well, I don't like it, and I'm changing that. But I know, like you mentioned before, like you have to forgive your. I think it's like, I don't know if it's your parents or just your mother.
Your mother and your father. Your father
Right.
for not protecting you from your mother.
Right. So I am going to do that.
Why haven't
because-
you done it already?
Because I didn't know about that.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go. How long you been listening?
I mean, I was listening probably. At the beginning, it was just like I would see the clips, like the Get a Job
Yes.
stuff, and then I started tuning into your show. So probably like I don't know, like maybe like a year or something.
Oh, okay.
So I know you mentioned that. And actually, real quick, like just super quick, like I noticed, my father, he didn't, his or my grandfather, I guess his father, like passed away recently, and I noticed like the reason why I ended up the way I did was because I never had an example of like what a man is supposed to be. So. You know, kind of like the way you talk about men is like, oh, that's the way they're supposed to be. Or even if I'm just using quotation marks. Like,
right.
Let's just say they were not supposed to be that way, or they don't. It doesn't matter. Regardless, they should be that way because of how cruel the world can be. You know, you need a strong man to withstand the right. So, and I noticed my father was not. At least I don't judge him, because he had his reasons whether they're justifiable or not, right?
Right.
But he would run away from problems, or he would try to avoid them, or if discussions, like let's say I'm talking to you right now, I cannot talk that way, and I've tried many times with my father because once I'm getting into things that are about God or what's right, morality, right?
Yeah.
What's right and wrong, it's like he wants to watch baseball. But I love him because I only have one. He's my father,
Right.
Physical father. So that kind of led me to God because if I cannot get guidance from my physical father, then I have to look for the one father, right? The spiritual
right.
father. And so that so that's why I appreciate your show. But I will say this, that I'm going into the military.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, and I know that right now it's like not really, the leadership is not there.
Right.
At least that I see.
Right.
But then I thought to myself, so what am I going to do? Am I just going to run away every time a situation is not in a way, it doesn't present itself where it's beneficial to me? Am I just every time something appears, right? Because things change all the time. Should I just run, avoid?
How old are you doing?
Say again?
How old are you?
35.
Oh, okay. And
right.
what branch of the military are you going into?
Air Force.
Oh, okay. The one thing, are you able to hold?
Hold? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I got to take a break. And when I come back, I'll come right to you. 888-7753-773. I got to take a break. This hour's gone. And the Hake is coming in with the Hake news. Not the fake news, but the Hake news. The guy with the good hair. Maze hates hair. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer.
I know some people have called in and they wonder if the silent prayer is working. And I just want to take a second and to tell them that it works. You just have to stick with it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I started doing before I even forgave my parents. And I was so depressed and suicidal at some times that I just would have to stop in the middle of my job or whatever I was doing and go into the silent prayer. And it really does help. Like, I don't have those anymore.
Amazing. You haven't seen anything yet. Doubt every thought. Bring every thought into captivity. Just let them all pass. Don't judge them. You haven't seen anything. It gets better and better and better and easier. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Some major vaccine madness continues in America. What a mess. And I have some other interesting, or maybe not so interesting, headlines. This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Monday, October 18th, 2021 AD. Stay tuned for hour two. Jesse Lee will be right back. But first, fake news, not fake news. Ordinarily, we would have the third Thursday of the month, Women's Forum, but not this week. No Women's Forum this month, ladies. Sorry, we have to cancel it. Apple News reports, of all places, Apple News. A notorious gang in Haiti kidnapped 17 missionaries, Christian missionaries, I think, most of them from the United States, on Saturday. And FBI agents arrived in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, yesterday to help with negotiations to free the hostages. That's not even Africa. What a mess. That's according to the Miami Herald. Apple News also reports the trial for 3 men accused of murdering Ahmaud Arbery begins today with jury selection. Arbery was a 25-year-old black male, you may recall, the jogger. He was shot and killed last year while jogging in Georgia, says NPR, which is total fake news. He was actually fighting over a shotgun with the son of a former cop. What was the son supposed to do? I don't know. Apple News also reports that black children were jailed for a crime that doesn't exist. Almost nothing happened to the adults in charge. That's from the far-left ProPublica. Oh, gosh, poor black people. Give me a break. Surprise! The Morning Brew reports that China launched a hypersonic missile. That means it's way faster than the speed of sound. Way faster. Morning Brew reports that China launched a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile in August that sped around the globe, if you believe it's a globe, in low Earth orbit before striking a target, according to Financial Times, which is a far-left outlet. If a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile sounds kind of scary to you, it's scarier to U.S. intelligence officials who were taken completely off guard by China's advancement in hypersonic weapons. We have no idea how they did this, said one source to the Financial Times. A hypersonic missile is a weapon that flies at 5 times, at least I think, the speed of sound. That's slower than a ballistic missile travels, but it makes hypersonic weapons more dangerous in that they can be maneuvered during flight, whereas ballistic missiles travel on a fixed parabola. Parabola? Therefore, China could evade the U.S.'s current defense systems and execute a nuclear strike on a target with near impunity and very little warning, according to an outlet called The War Zone. China's hypersonic flex is the latest in its growing military ambitions. Tensions are building between Taiwan and China after they sent about 150 aircraft to Taiwan, which is part of China, but they want to be independent from China. It's a big mess. Apple is evil. Morning Brew reports fresh off its iPhone 13 launch, Apple is expected to unveil new MacBook Pro models. And it's at an event today, possibly AirPods 3. On Tuesday, Google will introduce its new smartphone, the Pixel 6. So, whatever. Envy and corruption. The Morning Brew reports that the top 1% of households now hold a larger share of U.S. wealth, 27% of all wealth in America held by the so-called 1%. So be jealous. Then the entire so-called middle class, which is a communist buzzword, 26.6% of all U.S. wealth as of June. That's according to Federal Reserve data. Federal Reserve, very upstanding people. It's the lowest share of the national wealth held by the so-called middle class, defined as the middle 60% of U.S. households by income on record. You can blame the communist shutdowns, maybe, BLM crime a little bit too. This is what the commie capitalists wanted. What a mess. And vax madness. Expect to hear, according to Morning Brew, a final decision on the FDA on booster shots for Moderna's and Johnson & Johnson's so-called vaccines. That's after a panel recommended them for certain populations last week. A state trooper, according to WorldNet Daily and others, radioed in his emotional farewell before the vaccine mandate ended his 22-year career early. That was up in Yakima County, Washington State. He did not give his name, but he videoed it out and put it out on Twitter. I'm James Ake.